it's Clauds, and I am back with another video. So today, I will be doing the popular opinions book tag.
Popular. I know about popular.
I was tagged to do this by Spencer from Sphinx Reads. Thank you, Spencer. And I honestly don't know who to tag anymore. So if you're watching this, feel free to say that you have been tagged. I have tagged you. Go off and do this video.
Blessed be the Fruit Loops.
So there are 9 prompts, and yeah, let's get right on to it. So the first one is a popular book or series that you love. Okay, I just love this series so much. I have not yet found a series that has hooked me in like this yet so far, at least a completed series. So if you have any suggestions as to what I should read next or instead that I could love as much as I love this series, leave them down below in the comments. The series I picked out for this first prompt is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I love the flow of this story. I loved it since the first book. And with each book, except for the second book, I wasn't really into the second book that much. I love how the story flowed. And then when you read the third book, after you read the third book, you have to read the prequel book before moving on, because you're not gonna get anything without reading that book. And just, it all flows so well from there. And before, I didn't want to continue with Tower of Dawn, the 7th book, because I thought it would just be a side story about a character I wasn't really that into. And then I finally found the motivation to read it, and oh my god, it was good. It really tied into the story. It's meant to be a 7th book, not a 0.5 or something. Like, it's really part of the series. And then you move on to the last book, and it's just so yeah. And also I read this entire series twice. I enjoy this series so much. And also, that's the series that I love. I also want to mention the book that I love. And honestly, that would have to be Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I read it once in 2019. I read it last year. I am ready to read it again this year. I love that book so much. I love Henry and Alex so much. The next one is an underhyped book or series that you love and wish was more popular. I would have to say The Queen of the Tearling trilogy by Erica Johansson. I kinda have mixed feelings about how the series ends, but it makes sense to me. Does that make sense? It was kind of a found family thing for me, and then the ending kind of took that found family element away, sort of. I think that was why I didn't really enjoy the ending that much. But either way, it's a good series. It reminds me of my favorite anime, KINEROM. You guys should check that out. The third prompt is a romance, love triangle, or OTP that you love. I named quite a few. So we first have Annabeth and Percy, otherwise known as Percabeth, from Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. Henry and Alex from Red, White, and Royal Blue. I love them so much, okay? And lastly, Nick and Charlie from Alice Oseman's Heartstopper series. I love them so much, okay? And then their character development, their growth,
Dogs can hear you now.
Your favorite genre and a popular genre that you want to read more often. I would have to say that my favorite genre is YA fantasy, and because I would read YA contemporaries, YA dystopians all the time growing up, and now I've kind of settled on YA fantasy for a favorite, but I want to start reading more adult fantasy in the future. And also classics. I want to read more classics because, you know, why not? And they're called classics for a reason.
Pride and Prejudice is a flawless masterpiece. He's got too much pride, she's got too much prejudice, it just works.
The next one, a popular or beloved character that you love or a character you believe deserves more love. My answer for this is Todd from Chaos Walking. I don't really hear people talk about Chaos Walking that much. I've yet to see the film, but I love Todd when I was reading the books. Like, he had this great character development and I absolutely loved. Like, you could see it like growing with each book. People need to talk about this series more. It's really underrated, or at least I haven't seen people talk about this that much, and you know, hopefully they have and I just haven't seen it. But yeah, the next one is an AUTOBUY author. So like an author that when they have a book, you would automatically buy it without a second thought. And my answer for that would have to be Casey McQuiston, Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Angie Sage. Next is a popular book trope that you love reading about. Secret relationships. Not necessarily forbidden, but it's just fun when it's kept secret.
They don't know that we know they know we know.
Does that make sense? Yeah, it's fun to read. Like them sneaking behind everybody's back for whatever reason as to why they are sneaking around. But yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
Oh, my eyes! My eyes! Baby, oh, okay! It's okay! It's okay! No! They're doing it!
Another one would be Found Family.
You know, this is my family.
Yeah, Found Family just warms my heart in every single way. A popular series that you are excited to read. Kane Chronicles, Magnus Chase, and The Trials of Apollo. Those have been in my TBR since forever. I don't know. I don't feel like reading it. You know, like, I'm just not in the mood for that right now. And also, this would actually be a reread, but the Septimus Heap series. I started this series when I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade. If you liked, this would be a fun read. Honestly, that's really much all I remember. Hoping to find the motivation to reread that series as well as soon as my order of the last book arrives from Book Depository. So I hope they send that soon. And lastly, a popular book and film where you love the story in both formats. I would have to say Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I loved the book. A lot of people say they didn't really like it or wasn't that into it, but I actually loved it. But I have to be honest, I do love the movie more. Like, oh no, the movie just makes so much more sense than the book. And lastly, my other answer for this prompt would have to be Flipped by Wendelin Van Dranen. I love both the book and the movie. I love that the book gives more insight to these characters, but the movie and the chemistry with Bryce and Julie, I love them so much. And I like that the movie changed the era the story was set in. Either way, it would have made sense, but I really liked it in the movie more. And the music was so good, and Julie's outfits are like, I want them. So, that was my popular opinions book tag. Again, if you want to do this tag, go for it. And yeah, again, thank you, Spencer, for tagging me to do this. This was fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me ramble. I hope none of my opinions offended you or anything. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and click on the bell icon. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!